There we go. Hi, everybody. Sorry, for some reason, my mic decided to get unrecognized. Hello, everybody. Thank you so very much for joining me. It is outstanding to have you. My name is Chris, otherwise known as Wolfie, and we are live once again with massively overpowered OPTV. And this is Islands of Insight. So, this is a very, very interesting one, at least to me anyway. So, we actually had reported on this rather a couple of different times. The first time we had reported on it was, I think, in June. I'm actually going to look that up here in just a moment. But yeah, so yeah, this was part. Yeah, this is from June of this year. So we had first reported it as part of like a series of not so massively articles, and it kind of like fell silent for a little while up until pretty recently, just the beginning of this month actually, when the developers behind the game announced a February launch window and a Steam demo, which is available currently right now. So yeah, that's what this is about. It looks very, very interesting. So it describes itself as an epic shared world puzzle adventure game. Um, so it's kind of like a co-op puzzly sort of thing. It looks a little bit Myst-ish without being exactly like Myst Online or Uru Online or anything like that. Or at least maybe similar cut from similar cloth, perhaps. It doesn't seem to be predicated on visiting different like realms or worlds or what were they called in Myst? I forget. Chapters? I know that was referencing a book, and I forget what they were referred to. But in any event, but it does have a bunch of floating islands. They all do seem to have like a bunch of themes around them, as far as like architecture or perhaps puzzles. And yeah, as Myst was my very very first quote unquote real PC game that I ever played, I was immediately intrigued in trying this out. And so when I saw that the demo was available, I had to download it and try it out, and I wanted to share it with all of you. Now, obviously, this is still in development. I believe the disclaimer at the beginning of the game mentioned this is sort of like a beta build or an alpha build. In any event, it's still early days. And also, I recall the disclaimer pointing out that there are aspects of the game in terms of story that are going to be intentionally left out because I assume there's some sort of through line or narrative that kind of like drives things forward. Um, so anyway, this is still not completely finished. It's still being in development and all of that. But the demo slices something to just sort of gauge where this is at, and that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm just super curious and want to find out more. This game really, really seems up my alley. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Um, Provided, of course, it does load naturally. That's also an important portion of the whole thing. Let's fingers crossed, shall I? Everything seems to be okay. Yeah, I'll give it a little bit longer. Let's see. But yes, I genuinely hope that this game does okay. Because like this is not, at least on paper anyway, this is really not and like anything else that's really out there, or too many things out there. Like I mentioned, there's still Myst Online that's still actually being supported by players. If I remember correctly, the original developer Cyan Interactive, I think it is, kind of allowed the emulator or the player base that's kind of supporting Myst Online to continue to run, which is incredibly awesome. Um, so I gotta believe that there are people who are interested and into this sort of thing, right? There has to be. I would really, really hope that this kind of takes off. I think though it might have seized up on me. I'm going to give me a minute here. I'm gonna do a real quick hard restart here. Give me a second. I apologize, everybody. Right, let's try this again, shall we? Hang on a minute here. Apologies for the black screen. See if we can get this to run. Okay, so that's back. So yeah, there's the well, there's your usual disclaimer about epilepsy warnings. There's the demo disclaimer. So still in pre-beta development. There we go. Okay, so it's still in a pre-beta state. Okay, let's hope this works this time around. As you can't see it because there's a bar in the way, the little graphics on the bottom right, but on the bottom right corner, just above where my mouse is at, there is like a little thing that indicated there was some loading happening, and then it stopped loading. So we'll see. Gonna give it a few more minutes. I apologize, everybody. This is the way of things, I suppose, when it comes to games that aren't completely released yet. It's just these things happen. But I'm gonna try to exercise some patience. If this... Oh, there we go. Unknown software exception, huh? Oh, wait. No, that's... Oh, no, that's related to my Steam Streamlabs. Interesting. Hang on a minute here. Ooh, let's see. So now I can't see the chat. That's fun. Let's see. Oh. If anybody's chatting at me, I can't see it yet. Bear with me a second here. For some reason, my chat window. There we go. It's back. Yay! Hello, Toaster. Good to see you. All right. So the chat is running again, but now let's see if the game will work. This is a little challenging. Oh, that's an adorable little ghosty emote, by the way. That's really cute. I wonder. You know what? I'm actually gonna... Let me do another hard stop. Wait. Now it's straight up C's, possibly? Hang on a minute. Now it's just not staying in my screen. Oh, no. All right, so you can't see it. It still looks like it's on that little loading icon or loading screen, but you're sitting on the edge of a cliff staring at a logo. Exits are north, east, west, and down. Nice. Oh, beautiful. Love that callback. All right, I'm going to hard stop again. Apologies, everybody. I don't know why this one is being a fuss budget, but I'm going to do a little bit of troubleshooting on this boy. Hang on a second here. There isn't a... Okay, no, that was... let me go ahead and get a full-on straight-up exit out of Steam. Gonna put this on here for just a moment while I fuddle around with my UI here, so that way you guys aren't looking at black. At least you're looking at our loading lady here. Let's see. Okay, that. All right, I'm gonna do a quick verification of the files, just to be sure there isn't anything missing or busted or otherwise broken. Let's give it a moment, yeah. Well, a few moments. File integrity checks take a little while. Probably should have checked that this was working before I started streaming. I apologize for the wait, everyone. But yeah, not a bit of a good first impression, but then again, this is also a demo, and like the disclaimer had said at the very beginning of the whole thing, this is still a pre-beta, so I mean, bugs and things being absolutely busted are to be expected, honestly. It will be okay. We're gonna be all right. Man, a toaster's comment about you're sitting at the edge of a cliff, staring at a logo. Exits are north, east, west, and down. That immediately threw me back to because I mentioned that Myst was one of my first real PC games. Another one that was part of like my formative PC gaming years was Return to Zork. So, I mean, it wasn't like the old text-based Zork that was kind of referenced there, or like other click point and click text-based adventures like gosh, what was the one about a Gru? Why am I blanking out about it? The one I was talking where you one of the ways you could die was you were eaten by a Gru, and I completely forgot the name of it. But games like that, uh, just were a major part of my PC gaming life for, and like were mind blowing at the time. Like you look at a game like Return to Zork, or The Seventh Guest, or Phantasmagoria, or any number of like point and click FMV adventure games, and you just sort of like kind of maybe sort of curl your lip a little bit and kind of possibly cringe, but like y'all don't understand if you were not of a certain age. That was like mind boggling, especially back in the days in PC gaming was effectively like a very large Atari or a Coleco in terms of its graphics, its processing power. Like the most advanced game I'd seen before then was the old Prince of Persia on an Apple II or something like that, or an Apple machine. But before then, I was, because I was part of computer lab in one of the schools that I went to, I was, playing things like classics like Number Muncher or Donkey Kong Jr. Math or the old school Oregon Trail. So like if you ever look at those, visually speaking, they were nowhere near anything that was possible when CD-ROM games were coming out, and then FMV games. Even if it was just like community theater actors in front of a blue screen or a green screen, it's just seeing that all play out in a game, in a PC game, was just astonishing back then. And like and Myst was a defining PC game moment. I don't know, it hasn't aged terribly well, certainly. It has had to go through remasters in order to kind of like come up to snuff in terms of like its sense of immersion and verisimilitude, which is wonderful. Like, but back then, when like you were clicking through a bunch of like 3D generated still images, like it was still astonishingly immersive because I never seen anything like that before. Like the little movies of the brothers and their father that play out, and just everything about it was just so mind blowing back then. And when you finally figured out a puzzle after either you know brute forcing it, or trying to use logic, or in some cases, certainly in my case, more than a few times, finding some hints, um, it felt great. So I'm hoping that this game sort of not necessarily like dredges up those old memories, right? I don't necessarily think this is going to hit me in the nostalgia, but I mean, if it can kind of get me close, I'd be pretty pleased. Uh, just because there are, like I said earlier, there are not many games like this out there. Certainly not nowadays, and definitely not in the multiplayer space, or the MMO or the multiplayer space. It just doesn't. It's not something you see anymore, really. Besides, again, like I said, Mist Online and Uru. Those are foundational for a very good reason. Um, so yes, I am hoping that this does kind of manage to make things work. Of course, like I said, that is incumbent upon the game actually getting functional. So here's hoping. Fingers crossed. And apologies for the random podcast episode, by the way. That was not something I was expecting to have to do today. But that's all right. I appreciate you guys all hanging out here with me for today. whether we are going to be playing this or going to be playing something else, or if this is just going to be a talky episode. Uh, Thank you very much for coming, everyone. Uh, you know what? I usually do this as an ender, but I am going to point out some advanced episodes for our massively OP stream because, personally speaking, I think they're looking super, super good. Later tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, MJ is going to be checking out the Wagadu Chronicles. I was actually wanting to stream this sometime later in the month, but she's going to be jumping on it today, or tonight rather, which is going to be super cool. I really, really want to see how that plays out. I'm sure a lot of folks who read our site or who follow MMORPGs want to as well. So absolutely check that out. And then tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern, myself and my husband, maybe MJ if she's around, we'll see. Maybe she'll join us later, but certainly myself and my husband Welsh Fox are going to be together co-streaming and just reacting to the trailers from the Games Awards. We're not necessarily here, certainly I'm not here for any of the awards themselves. Don't have an emotional attachment or a mental attachment. Couldn't care less. We are watching this purely for the reveal trailers and the news drops, and we are going to be kind of reacting to them. Obviously, we'll be focusing primarily on the MMORPG, MMO, and multiplayer titles. But you know what? Those things are always a good time. So hope you tune in for those. For that on to Thursday night. And yeah, we'll see. Well, I always look for. I did this last year, the Game Awards co-stream. Did it last year. Had a really good time. I think everybody else did too. So I wanted to do it again. And I will ask MJ if she's up for it, if she wants to join me on that. She's got her usual pretty solid plate of stuff going on, but we'll see if we can't maybe kind of draw her in for a quick cheeky little reaction to a trailer or two. All right. The integrity check is at 88% right now, 89 now. So we are slowly but surely moving along. I think we should be almost done here in a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to do a quick check, see what else I would want to stream should this fall to the wayside. It's speaking of the Game Awards, how much Armored Core have you played this year? I actually got one of the 3 endings, and then I stopped because I just got a little frustrated with the Souls-ishness of the games, which I guess I shouldn't be terribly surprised by. But once I got through one of the 3 endings, I was like, you know what? I was kind of hoping that more parts and other stuff would be unlocked and the game would start getting more fun, or just fun overall. It didn't, so I stopped. But okay, no, it looks like there's a patch. Okay, so all right, so yeah, it looks like the files weren't all together there. Just give us a minute here. Verifying 180%. What? That's weird. Okay. Right, let's see if this works. Okay. So we have gotten our patch in. The patch in. Sorry. Don't know why my voice broke there. That was something. All right. Okay. Fingers crossed, everybody. Give us a minute. Let me just make sure that it is feeding through to my OBS, because right now it is a black screen. If not, I can just switch it over to screenshot view or screen view. There we go. Okay. All right. So looks like that's working. Now let's hope that the demo will fire up. Here is hoping. Demo again is not complete. Yes. All right. Okay. What is this? Oh, that's friends. Okay. All right. So once again, we have that loading thing that's on the bottom right corner that y'all can't see because the bars are in the way. Staying here for a little longer than it was before, so that's good. Let's see. Give us an insight when there is no sight of the game to see. I got the reference there. Thank you, Welshrox. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's for some reason this one is being a fuss budget, and I don't know why. That's very unfortunate. I'll give it a few more minutes. We're going to look at our ladies chilling on the cliffside. She just sitting on the cliff like, oh man, I gotta solve this one first. And I tried this one over here, but I just wasn't feeling it. Maybe I'll go for this guy down here. Seems like it's okay, I guess. I don't know. Really wish I could see what the maze solution is from up here, but I don't think I can see the maze from here. Darn it. Hoping for a good vantage point of a maze. Up, and now it just straight crashed the desk on its own, it looks like. Yeah, alright. Okay, one more try. Could solve the Stargate, but I may just get some munchkins from Dunkin's. Ooh, seasonal drinks. Alright, so it straight up just crashed the desktop on me. Alright, okay, alright. That's fine. That's fine. Make sure, okay, you can see the game. Alright, let's see here. Okay, fingers crossed, everybody. Here's hoping. Oh, the little loading boxes that are on the bottom right corner beneath where my mouse is right now are gone again. Come on. I believe in you, Islands of Insight. You can do it. We believe. Come on. I would really like to see what this game is about. Please. Hello? Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna do a quick check, actually. Hang on a second.